Okay, I am done. This is what I have ended up with. And now we are at the end. And I ended with a jump ring. If they want to just end with a bead, that's fine, but this kind of ties the two ends together, so I really like to do that. So you're going to do another overhand knot, and you're going to slide that down to the jump ring. Sometimes that jump ring wants to get up into the knot, so make sure it comes down like this one has done. Okay, but you're going to slide this knot down to the jump ring, and you're going to just pull it snug. Okay, now, and also they need to know that this should go around their wrist. It won't complete that. You don't want the beads to meet the button, because the actual end is going to take up 1.5 inches to possibly 2 inches, including the tail. As you can see from this first, there's the jump ring, there's your overhand knot, and here's the loop that the button goes into, another overhand knot. Now they can either add beads or leave it without and just have the tails there as long or short as they want. But this will add 1.5 inches, 1 inch, depending on the size of their wrist, and they will all vary. So depending on their wrist, you want that first knot, I'm not showing this well, I'm sorry. That first knot to be a little bit a ways from the button, if you can see that, because then the second knot comes, and it depends also on how loose they want it on the wrist. But anyway, we have our first knot. We're going to do another overhand knot, and the space in between the loop depends on the size of the button, because you have to be able to fit this button. Don't tighten it up, but they can just sample it and make sure it fits over. You don't want it so loose that it's going to fall off, but you want it enough to get over the button. And that one actually works just well. So I'm going to go ahead and tighten that. You might want to pull each little strand a little tug separate to tighten up any of those extra loops in there. So now you can leave it as such, and it will look like this. And you can trim the ends, or you can add some some beads. Let's get a bead that fits nicely. And just kind of mix up the colors. You can put 2 on, you can put 1 on, you can put 2 or 3. That one's got a opening that's clogged. There, let's put a purple one on. Okay, now we're going to do another overhand knot, and sometimes it gets a little close because there's not enough leather, but there's the tail. Now we're going to do the other side, and I'll pick maybe some contrasting colors or put them on differently. There's a blue one. Let's put on a orange one. I don't have an orange. And I think we're going to just leave it at 2. Sometimes the odd numbers work just fine, and it's kind of a fun difference. So we're going to tie that in there, and that doesn't have to be snug up against the bead if you don't want. So now there's my tail. I'm going to trim the ends just a little bit so they're not quite so shaggy there. And there is your completed bracelet. Now, several things to tell the kids. If they want to go home and do this, I will give you the amounts. There it is there. How cute is that? Let me set it down here and you can see it a little better. If they want to do enough of the leather cording, they can do a wrap that goes around 2 or 3 times, and this used about 20 inches to 22 inches of cording. If they want to do like 40 or 45, just let them test wrapping around 2 or 3 times. That would make an adorable wrap. It would kind of look like, this. Now these are different colors, but it would be, let me go down a little bit. It would be wrapped around the wrist like that, and it would be adorable. So just something to think about. Remember to have them add whatever amount that they use for the bracelet. Have them add probably 4 inches, 3 to 4 inches to do the closure loop and to put some extra beads and have a little tail. So that is it. Again, it's very simple. It's just overhand knot, 1 bead on one strand, a jump ring on both, another bead on the opposite strand, jump ring on both, and you continue that all the way down. So that is it. I will include some paper instructions as well and extra supplies. So thanks. Take care.